And I have returned. Welcome back. For those of you watching the VODs on YouTube, welcome to the second half of the Thursday stream for August 27th, 2020. Be sure to do all of the social stuff below the video, etc., 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 and take part in the poll that is ongoing, if it is before the beginning of September, while you're watching this. Today, I am, of course, continuing to work on the Ulric build that'll be used, of all things, is going to be used for skin and not for bone meal. Like what is this shenaniganry? We've got we've got a skin Ulric build, and it's not going to be like, it's temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to do skin forever. Once I have another build, I guess at this point it's like once I have another build for skin is when I'll switch it to bone meal, and then I'll switch the og bone meal to like bones, I guess, or something else, something other than bone meal. Ogs are pretty good at meat, so I guess it's meat out of ogs that I'll switch it to og meat. Uh, if you are not aware, each individual creature in PyAlien Life, the over 30 items of life that are added in PyAlien Life, of which the animals that get slaughtered into various component parts, each animal has a different thing that it's good at producing. Some of them are only for specialized products, but others are for more general products and are good at various things. Uh, Ogs produce like a really good amount of meat for their cost, for example, and not so much skin, not so much bone or bone meal, etc. Not as much blood either. Mukmo produce a decent amount of blood and produce a lot of guts and are one of the best manure producers. Um, for example. And then you have the Zipir, which are really good at skin production. You have the Arthurians, which gives you more brains, and so on and so forth. The Fagnots give more bones, as well as their gas bladders that you can use. But I wouldn't really recommend it in the current state of balance. I never found an adequate use for the gas bladders in a standard playthrough of PyAlien Life that I have done. My Paidu Valley series I have done. And yeah, so we've got some Ulric. We have we have some Ulric at this point. I now need to figure out how the heck I'm going to fit 103 into this square with enough space for a train station underneath. That is the plan for this moment in time, and the way that I usually do this is I start with the top right and make my way left. Just because I can leave space where appropriate. Gosh, I really, really, really dislike the, Oop. I didn't mute myself. Dang it. I don't like the sprite on this one because it's a little bit too tall. It makes it not... I like really clear where the edge is on the sprite, on the top of it, at the very least. So, let me continue here. Each one of these is 8 Ulrich, which is like, oh god. Yes, that's 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Um, 15. I can technically fit a 16, but 15 works out a little bit better overall. I need to think about the recipe that I'm using, assign that recipe that I'm using. Wow, there are only 2 recipes. Okay, I did not realize there were only 2 recipes. Only 2 exist for the caged Ulric at this point in time. Come on. And there is just cages, just water barrels, and just Ulric food. Now, this means I need 2 belts in, 1 belt out, which, yeah, that logistically is identical to this. It is identical to this, but is it gonna be like this? Nah. Nah. I did keep copy-pasting that. I wish I hadn't kept copy-pasting that as is. Is it you that's similar? Yes, it's you. So it's the Vrauk build-ish that I'll be copying from for the actual logistics here. So it's 1 on top, 2, 1, 2. Alright. Good to know. This is going to be a mirror of that build, though. Just so as we're clear on that. A mirror of the Vrauk build. Bring that over. And then it's 1 in, 1 out. This will be simpler, I would hope. I would hope that this is a simpler build. Little bit less space efficient, but it will work just fine. And of course, my bots are going to keep bringing me the Ulric corrals as we go along, because I don't have 103 on me. It's going to be more than 103 in this build, just for point of reference. Just copy and 1 more there. Hey, autosave! No! Why? There. That's what I wanted. Now, before I go keep on pasting this down, what I really should do is get all of the power sorted. Get the power lines sorted out on here. And then get the belt line going so that I can just copy paste this all the way down the line. And then I have to do the same thing above again as well. Seven, 8, 9. There we go. And there's that. Now, this one needs to mirror that. It does not need the power poles on this side, but it does need the power poles on the other. And since the belt already exists, I don't need to have the paste with the belt. And down we go. I am going to remove and reposition the modules, the Ulric modules, from all the way down here, because there's no point in having them all the way down there. That means they won't get automatically filled, though, but it doesn't matter in the slightest. Key distinction here between plants and animals is this time around, yes, the animals, it will absolutely be better to have the single creature filling as many as possible. And I should have kept at least one in what I've already placed. Because you want to have these move, and you're more likely able to feed / provide the resources for the animal buildings versus the plant buildings. And the reason is because the plant buildings need seeds, which will be your limiting factor. So this should go faster than filling in all of the modules of individual ones. This will go faster, and then for another 12 Ulrics. I can't just copy this whole thing now, can I? No, 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 I cannot, because that... Yeah, I need to, like, actually delete those. And then copy, paste back down, and remove all but one. No, but that won't work either. Why do this to me? I need a chest. Put away the Ulric. Yes, put away the Ulric. There. That should theoretically maintain. Ah, you have 4. This is finicky, but what I want to do is I want to maintain the logistic request for all of the Ulric modules in the proper quantities as well, to the +7 on all of these, and that all of that was required to do this in this manner. Okay. Yes, this belt can be trimmed. And then, so we've got 30. What is 103 divided by 30? 3.433. So, no, that is not accurate. That is 3, and then I need 1 more. And that 1 more is actually going to be one of these lines. Like so. Can I have more? Yes. Do I want more in here on this build? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. Should I just have an extra line? I could put another 2 lines in. That'll give me far more skin than what I necessarily need for just the 15 zinc. I'll need skin. I'll need glycerol for other things or whatever. Oleochemicals, excuse me, not straight up glycerol. I'll need oleochems, and I'll need skin for that, or more collagen. Does that work though with a train station? It looks like it, yes. So that's what I'll go ahead and do. This is gonna need a bunch of resources. A bunch of resources. Yes, it freaking still messed up with the thingies, with the doohickeys by filling in those, but I'm just gonna live with it at this point. I've stopped caring now. I've stopped caring about the finicky nature of this thing. of this game mechanics. Looks like I am now out of Ulric corrals. I need, you know, a few more Ulric corrals. You know, just a few. I'm also apparently out of inserters and out of belt, not belt, out of the, well, now I'm out of belt, out of the electric poles. Yeah, these use a lot of resources, these builds. Oh, boy. I do not need you. Oh, right, I don't have the doohickeys. Yeah, that's right. This needs to die. I don't have the, slaughterhouses. That's the word that I'm looking for. Slaughterhouses. Yes, I need to, of course, slaughter these animals. I should not have gotten rid of that request for the Ulric. Actually, what I'll do... Haha, sneaky sneaky. I will do this and request the Ulric corrals here. Yes, yes! Request all the Ulric corrals here. I don't need 2 requester stations. I thought I said to die. Oops. There we go. How are you doing? Not. You are not doing. Okay. This needs to be the bulk rail loaders. That works. This will be supply skin 1. This will be our cages at Ulric 1. I need to cut, paste, and wire. There we go. And this will, of course, be depot skin 1. And there we go. That, as they say, is that. Now, how many slaughterhouses? Wow, that's a few. That's a few slaughterhouses. Good thing I have the space for that. Bring me sufficient quantities of slaughterhouses, please. I also, of course, I'm going to stand within my logistic zone here as I place 2 buildings. One is going to make me empty barrels. The other one is going to make me filled water barrels. And it will be fed directly with water. And that will make enough as we go along of the water. Oh, that is not enough. Right. I need 2 of these. Why do I need 2 of these? Because they can only do 7.5 per second, and I apparently need greater than 7.5 per second of barrels of water for this. I wish I had noticed that sooner. To be completely honest, I wish I had noticed that sooner, because that is more than a lane of a yellow belt, and that complicates things greatly. That greatly complicates things. And of course, I need to give steel to those. I will need a lot more than just that amount of steel, though. This is in the logistic zone, so what I can sneakily do is put in requests for steel. About 2,000 each, and yeah, sure, I'll let them I'll let them load in. I need to be very careful. I will make that clear. I need to be very, very careful about everything in regards to the logistics here. Yeah. So about that, I will remove and replace. Just because it doesn't use a full thingy of the deep water well. So I cannot merge here. That's the biggest problem, is I have to then, like, split merge, like, every single time. Oh, hey, I picked up a dude. Like, any merged belt needs to look like this, no matter where it is. That is aligned, right? Yes, that is aligned. This technically doesn't need splitters anymore. And of course, this uses tons of belts. That's the other thing. Oh god, these builds. These builds use absolute tons of belt. Of course, the other thing is going to be cages. Cages here on this belt. I'm going to purposefully keep these disconnected everywhere but the spots that have the actual modules assigned. So all of this has modules, and a couple here has some. So I want to make sure that both of these get fed with the water barrels. The return also needs to deal with this exact same problem, which means that I can't simply keep merging these belts without first filtering. So I need to filter first the empty barrels out here. So yeah. And then I have to merge. You can obviously see how very painful this will end up being, logistically speaking, as we go along here. Fortunately, there's only like 3 output belts to worry about, 4 output belts to worry about here. I don't need to worry about that input there, that splitter there. I do need to worry about this. So one of these is the cages, the caged Ulric, and then the other is going to be the empty barrels. Yeah, I will do that. And feed this way. Reason being that this will end up being a little bit simpler. Yeah, that works a bit better. There we go. And that'll be fine from there to go down. And then the empty barrels need to make their way back into these buildings. Of course, I usually have a chest to act for overflow, just in case I have too much steel being made into cages. I'm going to cease the steel request now. It seems that I have brought in sufficient-ish quantities, but we'll find out about that as we go along, because, yeah, I will, of course, need to fill all of these lines with stuff. Makes me actually think about, do I genuinely want to fill this right now? I'm uncertain about that. What I do know is that I am currently able to go down here and start requesting those cages. So let me see that, yes, this is fine. Our cages, bring in those cages. I am ready for them. Where are our cages again? Where are they in this list again? Cages, there they are. Of course, right next to the Schrodinger antelope cage and brains. They are directly next to brains. Oh yeah, and I don't... And of course I don't have any belt on me anymore. I am out of belt. Bots should be on their way to bring me belt. As long as I stay within the network range. So where the heck am I going to put this cages? Like, seriously. That's a slight problem. As for why I'm doing that there, you shall see. Looks like I'm doing this here-ish. Going up and over. One more. There we go. That will feed the cages for all these things. Also, construction bots are now coming to place all of this belt too, as well as the bots coming to put the belts in my inventory. Who shall succeed first? I think it's the ones bringing the belt into my inventory. And then I'll auto-place all of the stuff thanks to nanobots. Beautiful and glorious nanobots. Where are those guys anyway? Hello, things. Wait, what? Oh, hello. I don't have belt. Why do I not have belt? Rubber. Oh, I haven't. Okay, I have not assigned a rubber. Right. It appears as if I have not assigned a rubber. Where is my car parked? Uh-oh. Also, that needs to die. There. That should be signaled properly now. Vehicle! We need to go to the mall. We need to take a trip to the mall. Quick trip to the mall. Oh yes, I also need to do the power and all that to all of the Ulric. What point is there in having the ingredients if they don't have power? So let's take care of each of these issues in turn. Starting off with the need for belt, rubber belts. That, of course, are going to make actual transport belts for me. I think I need to go over one more. Yes, one more. And then we're here. We're at our mall. Welcome to the mall. I need rubber belt. I will do that in a very, very fast machine. Bring me every bit of my rubber. And that's actually just going to be, like, pasted a few times. Just a few of these, making belt for me, because I am a dummy and didn't actually assign that. Whoops! But I definitely have the rubber. Like, I am not concerned about the rubber. I have the rubber. I has it. I has rubber. 11,000 in that chest. Yeah. Yeah, I has the rubber. And just a friendly reminder that 10,000 channel points, you can get your name on train stations. And all the support stuff is listed there now. My subtle hints are now on the map. The very, very subtle hints are on the map right now. So that should help fix the issue with the belts. Oh, I shouldn't have given it the 10 stack, should I? I need to get rid of that. I also need modules. That's another thing to think about in this Ulric build currently, is before doing the slaughterhouses, which I will need many, I also need to have an answer to getting the rest of these modules. Now, fortunately enough, getting the rest of the modules is easy. It's really simple. You just throw the caged Ulric into an assembling machine, and voila, it will return cages for you as well, which will be fantastic. It will work very well with my overall setup here. Just find Ulric. There you go. Returns cages. Eats 3 per second of caged Ulric. Yeah, I can work with 1. And then this needs to be the actual mark cages. Actually, I want this one to be cages. And that can be the Mark 1 Ulric. That will go into I guess a provider chest, not like it really matters. And then the cages will go there. Yay. Cages. And then the actual Ulric, caged Ulric, will come in that way. And that, as they say, is that. That is that. What are the... How much backup do I have going on right now? Soon. Very soon, completely backed up, so we are going to cease the production of the barrels. How is the stuff going here with these? Alright, we've got belt blowing again. The belt shall blow yet again. Now for slaughterhouses, while I wait on the belts to flow. And am I still in logistic? I am barely on the border. But all of that is in the network, so all of that will get built. I am highly tempted to just put down a Roboport or 2. For 20. Just a few little Roboports. Just to help out with the building of things. Okay, I need like all 30 of these, right? Or I need at least 20. So let me see about this. If I can get 10 in a line. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I have enough room for at least 4 more? Exactly 4 more. I am a little too good at this. I have to admit, that's like one tile at least too small. I am going to have this shifted a little down and a little over. And that's going to be the build. Right there. We done! That's the stuffs. Alright, Ulric. As you can see, Ulric give 2 whole skin. They're actually designed to give you bone meal. They give you 6 bone meal. They give you 4 bones, but you get more bones overall out of Fagnots. Compared to these, they give 3 guts, 80 blood, 2 lard, a brain, a singular brain. Most give you a singular brain for obvious reasons. Arthurians give you 2 though. 2 beautiful brains. I have the next tech. I am running out. I am running out of blue science techs. I want to put that thought out there. I am almost exclusively on like quality of life techs. Almost exclusively those are left. So this is going to be the output line here. Yes, place things, do stuff. And of course, this will filter cages to the right. That way. Yeah, and the rest is skin. And I don't have to worry about, like, throughput or anything. I have not built this to be 15 skin. Like, not even remotely close to 15 skin is this built for. This is like 2.5. Like, 2.5 skin. Just gotta place all this belt down. All the belt, all the, Wait, what? Where? Oh. I need to put the power poles down, obviously, before we can get stuff really flowing here. Ah, the joys of painting belts. So many belts. Let's see. This will come in as, like, split from here, I guess. But, nah. It'll split, like, here. I'll do something along these lines. Yeah, that'll lead up. That'll feed that way, and that will be that. Let me get my inserters set up now, along with the requisite power. Is that the spacing? That is. That is. And then I will copy and paste down the line. Actually, I will do that. And paste down the line. So from here to here, to here, to here, and to here. Hey! Features! Don't you love new features? I really enjoy new features added to the game. This helps a lot. The little grid thing. Yeah, that wonderful, beautiful setting to of grid size here. Yeah, that's quite convenient. Quite convenient for something like this. I am out of medium poles. I am already out of medium poles. Now, do I need all the medium poles here in this? No, I don't need any of these on the top side here. So those can all go away. Cease their existence. Also, I picked up a dude. Just like those can cease their existence, and that one, and that one. Hopefully this is actually going to be more sufficient. Place all those. Not all of them. So sad. Missing one. There we go. The bots will take care of it for me. Speaking of which, the cages are all being provided now, which means these are operational. Yes, the Ulric are whistling at me, mostly as the cages trickle in. All of the cages are all of the Ulric are whistling. That's how you know they're on. Remember that I do have a mod that disables animations. The no animations mod, it gets rid of that memory expenditure. The Pi Suite in particular uses so much system memory. Both it uses all of your graphics memory as well as overflows into actual system memory. Just because there's just so many animations in particular, and the graphics quality is really high. And yeah, this mod removes all that completely and saves many gigabytes of memory, allowing me to actually do other things on the computer while having this game rolling. It really does help a lot having that installed, but it does, however, mean that I have to pay more attention to the bottleneck mod, as well as listen to the sound effects to be like, is this machine moving or not? Is it actually moving? And of course, all of these have the one module in them because that is better overall. And then as I accrue my modules, they will, of course, fill up the stuff. Thank you for delivering that for me. Please continue to place stuff and things for me. And please bring me, like, all of the belt. They're bringing me my belt! My beautiful, beautiful robots! They're on their way. They're trickling on their way in to deliver all of the belt to me. Yay! Yay, also that needs all to be assigned. Still? Yes, let's assign all of the recipes. That would be great. All these machines actually had the recipes assigned. Hey, I've got belt. Belt is being placed. That is great to see. Alright, all that skin? Yes, all of that is skin. Huzzah! I've got skin. Things that you say in the Pi Suite. I, of course, now have skin on my train network. Speaking of trains, hello train. You are going to be limited dramatically. Although skin has a stack size that's relatively small, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head what the stack size is on skin, but anyway. Skin! Supply to depot. Full and circuit condition, and you can do your thing at your leisure. Get rid of that, please. I don't want more. I only need 10. I don't need more. More cages. More beautiful, glorious cages. Now, I will also note that this is only a chance, an 80% chance of actually producing, or 0.7, I forget exactly what it is. It is an 80% chance of producing a caged Ulric, which means that it could go through the entire time of the cycle and give you nothing, and not return a cage either. Personally, I would rather it not return the cage, because that is actually a hell of a lot more logistically challenging. If you're going to end up with an empty cage back every time and not the caged animal, I say that, and it might happen because Pi likes doing that sort of thing to you. Yeah, that would have severe ramifications. It would be a lot of tedious work to get around that while maintaining my current builds. But yeah, you lose your cage overall, and you have a 20% chance to basically just lose your cage, which is why you need to keep supplying the cages in, because you do lose the cage if you fail the percentage product output. So we are almost there. We have almost finished the first-ish cycle. It depends actually on when this got rolling. This has apparently finished 4 products already. Oh boy. Ah, I see. They're getting stuck on the splitter. So I do have products finished, which is great. Whoops, that needs to go the other way. And yeah, you can take all of those. Huzzah! We've got Ulric. They're here! They're here! The Ulric is here! Oh boy. I do want now more water. The reason why I now need more water is because it needs to fill both the input and the output belts, as well as the actual Ulric themselves. Also, yeah, they are starting to automatically fill these because they're in the logistic network, so it's bringing them up. I don't know if I want it to be that way, but we'll just go with it for now. And I think I am comfortable with actually connecting these now. To actually supply everything. Yes, everything shall be supplied. That'll be more barrels. Get more barrels entering the system. Do I need more stuffs? No. Nearly all of this is within construction bot range, but there is this big, there is a little bit of a gap still in the middle. That cannot actually be rectified all that simply. Like, if I really wanted to take care of this, what I would look at is here. I would need 2 of them at least. 2 or 3. Excuse me? Oh. Something just took me out of my window. Where's that again? You. There. That'll cover up that stuff, and then the other one can be, like, over here. I don't usually do this, by the way. This is just to help with the actual building of the thing. What? Oh, that's the, power pole. Duh. Definitely want to make sure that this is with, like, by a power pole. And doing that should close this gap for me. And now it should automatically assign, like, place everything for me. It should auto-magically place everything for me. That can actually switch to a provider chest, and bots will come in now to pick all those up and deliver them to... Yep, there they go. There they go! All the Constructo bots placing those wonderful, wonderful Ulric buildings. Ulric paddocks, corrals, whatever you want to call them. In the end, just needs to have these placed now, and it will do so once these roboports get placed, which they absolutely can get placed. There should be bots on their way to place them. So he says. And doesn't see... Oh, there's one. There's one! It's on its way. From way over here to all the way down here. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Did I make a bunch of Ulric using the base recipe to speed up the bootstrapping process? No. Not that many. I did do 42. Like, it just ran. I just had, from the last stream-ish, whatever when I finished the good alien samples, the amount of good alien samples that I brought with me to start doing the from-scratch recipe is how many it made. I didn't go and keep feeding it more and more and more to get hundreds and hundreds of hundreds. I ended up with 42. And I need hundreds. Literal hundreds to fill this whole thing. Like, it's over 800 that I need, so take from that what you will, but it is a little faster. So I guess technically the answer is yes. Have I already removed Factories Mode 2 completely? I still have factories running, so no, I have not removed it completely yet. That's at the beginning of this stream, I talked about the progress towards removing all of those buildings. My progress, essentially, just to reiterate from the beginning of the stream, is that I have taken care of the copper stuff at this point. The copper factories are now taken care of. All of this is now superfluous down here from the hot air thing. I don't need that anymore, and I don't need this anymore. I have completely taken care of all of the fish stuff as well. So the fish factory small buildings are taken care of, as well as the copper ones now. As for what's left, oh boy. So what's left is the glass up here, the tin, aluminium, latex, basic substrate, glassware with optical sets, and lead silver with Nexalit, which is where again? Oh, and apparently this seaweed here as well for the biosamples. Great. Great, that seaweed for the biosamples. Where is the lead? Here. So these are still operating. This is still operating. This is still operating. This is still operating. This is still operating. Those exist. But a lot of this is seaweed, and I now have seaweed provided on my network. So, like, all of this, these 6, is seaweed. These 6 is just seaweed. So I've 12 buildings here of just seaweed that can die now. They can go away because I don't need them. And the only actual infrastructure I need are in these 2 buildings making latex. But you can see this is not ideal. This is the direct insertion here. This one was modified to use the boxes, but not this one, and not any of these. And that's eating some performance, and I need to get rid of that as soon as possible. Similarly here with the glass, my problem with the glass is that this is the infrastructure in each of these buildings, in each of these buildings, this is the infrastructure, right? Like it, it's a lot in each one of these. Actually, no, I think this might be 2. No, I think this is 2. It has to be 2. I'm I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's 2 of these. So this is the space of 2 of these. I have, like, it's a lot. It's a lot to have to deal with, and I need that molten glass, which is why my thought was to do an upgraded molten glass before getting rid of this, through better glass processing, um, and that's how I will take care of that. But we have to be on screen when doing that. I would like to do that on screen to do the upgrading of the glass, or at the very least to show the sodium sulfate that's part of that, because the upgraded glass is going to require sodium sulfate, and that's like a brand new thing that we haven't made yet in any way. But outside of that, after that, and I'll be finished with all of the Factorio buildings, and we'll completely disable that mod and actually reclaim, ideally, a bunch of frames / performance and all of that good stuff, because this is just real bad. This script update's real bad with where is it, Factory Smo. Like, I am happy that it is now 1.3, 1.4. It used to be over 2. Like, I have gotten this down to be by about 0.7 on average. It is. I'm grateful for that. But the electric network usage, this used to be 5, so that's been brought down a bit as well, just by getting rid of the factories and disconnecting factories from the network. Entity update, though, yeah, that's high. That's going to be high. That's going to be what's eliminating thing. I'm down to the 40s because I'm in the map view right now. That's when you zoom out on the map view, you lose frames. You just lose frames. It's about 60 when I'm zoomed in. It's a little over 60 actually, on occasion. On occasion, it'll be over 60. So yeah, the Paidu Valley playthrough, I honestly forget where that was. I think it was somewhere in the 40s, 50s. I think I was actually pretty good on performance on Paidu Valley. This is honestly the worst period of time for performance. That period of time before getting into Circuit 2s is one of the worst periods of time for performance, because you're dealing with exclusively Mark 1 buildings up to this point, and the infrastructure that you need is particularly large to get into Circuit 2s. This is why I wanted Bob's modules in Paidu Valley, and still have Bob's modules. I've decided in this playthrough to not use some of the more powerful ones. Oh god, the thing. Answering machine. Thank you so much for that. Uh, what was I saying? I was saying that in this particular playthrough, I don't have like the raw modules, uh, and I don't have the god modules in this one. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't have the raw modules. Period. They don't exist. The texts don't exist. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great going forward. With having the extra power. That's what you have to deal with is the extra power on these. I did not set it to reduce speed. Like that that's just pain and suffering, and I would not like reduction in speed by using productivity. That sounds like a terrible idea. I will take the extra energy consumption, not the reduction in speed. That is the worst aspect of vanilla modules, is the reduction in speed for the privilege of using the productivity modules. Like, you need to use your speed. Like, make more buildings for the privilege of having productivity. Like, no. No. No, thank you. That sounds like a terrible idea. Yes, transmit productivity is disabled as well. Because that is flat out cheating. Like, come on. Transmitting productivity is just nah. Nah. Nah, nah, nah. Also, if you have transmit productivity enabled, what you can end up doing is putting creature modules into beacons. And, yeah, that's not intended. In the current state of the mechanics. Like, if you have the, if you have that setting on in Bob's modules to have the... Where is it? Transmit productivity. If you have this enabled, I'm pretty sure that the transmit productivity here would allow you to put the creature modules into beacons. And yes, I get that beacons are... they exist to offset the speed penalties from the vanilla modules. Like, I understand, but if you're trying to eke out performance, every single frame counts for performance as you get into the end of the game, right? If your sole concern is performance, you need as few entities as possible, and having beacons dedicated to speed to offset productivity reductions, that just you're adding unnecessary entities at that point, when you can just not have the speed reduction on the productivity to begin with, and have the speed to reduce the amount of buildings that you need. That is my point, is that I am trying to reduce the number of entities in grand total that I need to complete the game at the scale that I want to complete it at. So there's that consideration too. We're building at a huge scale in this playthrough. If it hasn't been obvious thus far, this is going to be a really big base. I mean, if it hasn't been made completely clear thus far, this is going to be big. It's going to be a bit big, large, an engorged base shall exist. It'll be about 5 times bigger than this by the end, if I'm hazarding a guess. Also, friendly reminders here. 10,000 channel points means that your name can become one of my train stations. We've had 2 people thus far actually redeem the train station name in grand total. So if you have 10,000 channel points, that's one thing you can spend it on. Friendly reminders there. Just, since the tiles change the color on the map, they're a great way to give out subtle hints and messages. They're a great way to have subtle hints and messages. So how's this doing, by the way, in terms of the actual motion of stuff? This is going to take a long time, just so we're clear. It's going to take a while before all of the modules are put into these buildings and we actually start getting skin out of this. So while that happens, because it's going to be probably about 5 or 6 hours. I would hope a little bit less than that, but several hours. Oh hey, we gotta redeem. We gotta redeem minimum sky 5. So let's do that change here. Let's have a live demonstration. Yes, you are going to have your name shown here. So you are minimum sky 5. There you go. There's your name. For the rest of the game, every time I go into the map view and show the area around my train stations, mall, stuff, your name will appear on there. Along with Soppel. Soppel actually made the mod that kills the animations, the no animation mod. So that's great. I'll always mention that. Soppel's the no animations person. And then Immortal does tons and tons and tons of changes to the mod suite that, generally speaking, may or may not ever get added to the Pi suite. He did the initial balance on all of the Pyrock Wars stuff, and over time, as things have been adjusted, yeah, that may or may not have been the best of ideas. And things are still changing. Why? This is lane balanced, and yet it's still pulling from this side, even though I told it to be input priority from this side. Game. Yes, because when it pulls from here, when it pulls from this left lane, it's pulling from this here, which is only provided through this side. Which means I need to actually have lane balancing here. By the way, this is lane balancing. This is just fine to lane balance this, because half of it will go to the one lane, half of it will stay on the other lane. If the input's from one lane only. That's the caveat there. And I need to do that to make sure that this is always pulling in stuff from this side to reuse it. Don't want to back up on those particular cages and cause the whole thing to just die. Speaking of dying, it looks like I am still working on the barrels that I need. Oh, right. That went away. Here, have a few more. You can stay there at that level of barrels. We'll see if that's a problem going forward. I know about lane balancing with undergrounds as a thing as well. I just prefer not doing that. That one feels a little bit exploited when you do it. When you have underground belts that are just like going out like that. Like, that's a very valid means of filtering your belts. And there are lane balancers that do involve that mechanic. But it feels a little bit hacky to me. Anyway, we are continuing our work as we approach the final 15 or so minutes of the stream today, because everyone showed up late. Let's see. So we've gone through the skin technically, as well as all the Ulric stuff. So what's left here? Well, what's left is the everything else. What's left is the everything else. The question is, do I want this as a separate build for the drilling fluid 2? Or do I want to keep it with the zinc ore? I think I'll keep it with the zinc ore this time. So, the drilling fluid 2 that actual build is going to need some inputs, and I need to make note of what those inputs are going to be. So those inputs are going to be, of course, skin and silver and chromium and urea and borax and TiCl4, titanium tetrachloride, and lamps, of course, and coke. No, not coke. Coke is local. And lead. I think that's it. So crude is tar and tar is local. BTX is crude, is tar is local. Lead is brought in and it's been noted. Chlorine is saline water, which is tar, which is local. Of course, silver is being brought in as well. This is being made off of this stuff. This is this stuff. Slaked lime is coke and lime, which are both local out of tar for the coke. Pure sand is also local. Lamps are brought in, and I've noted. Borax is being brought in, and I've noted. The diborane, of course, is being the borax. The skin, I've noted, is being brought in for the collagen. We got more tar. The TiCl4 I noted. Chromium I've noted. Carbon dioxide is biomass, is tar. And steam is... I can do it out of biomass or coke. And yeah, that's guar gum is guar, and that's what I need to add to the list. Guar needs to be on that list. And then we have the drill heads, which that's going to be a separate build. Separate build for the drill heads, which will have the steel, chromium, and aluminium recipe. Really wish ground borers used drill heads as a fuel. I'm going to keep saying that until it happens, by the way. Like, I really wish ground borers used drill heads as a fuel, rather than have all of their recipes individually accept drill heads as an ingredient. Like, it makes no sense to me why we can't use drill heads as a fuel in ground borers. And in so doing, therefore allowing for mega drill heads in ground borers as a fuel. Like, why can't I not use a mega drill head instead of a drill head and have it go a lot longer, go a lot further for the output? So, yeah, that's my hope and dream and desire. Thank you so much for the follow. And since we're down to like the last 12 or so minutes, I think what I'll end up doing is the drill heads. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll do the drill heads here. I don't have that many free squares left. Oops. Oopsies. I don't have that many free squares left. Huh. Right. Well, drill heads. Let's go take care of that. This one's like super easy. It's not even going to remotely close to use everything in this square. It's like, do I really even want it to be consuming a full square just for drill heads? Probably not. Like, is there a spot that's bringing in all of this stuff? The steel, aluminium, steel, chromium, aluminium. I've got a supply of aluminium here, but not the steel. It requests iron, not steel here. Steel is next door. Steel is next door. That's aluminium, steel. What about chromium? That's nowhere nearby. Chromium is all the way up here. Otherwise, it's just the mall. And oh, hello. Uh, hi. Who are you? Microfiber. Have I mentioned that the crawdad is immune to impact damage? Have I mentioned this fact yet? I always have to mention. Oh hey, it is the crawdad is immune to impact damage. As is, by the way, the multi-purpose pipes. They are completely immune to the glorious impact damage. Now, why does that work and not the other way around? Like, huh? Oh, I think I know. I think I know why this didn't have an issue like it did here, and it's because I think I copied this off of one that already had it. That already had a cross, like here. Yeah, I may have done that. I could be wrong, though. Bang, boom, pow! Destruction! And mayhem! I need a third requester station here. I need one more requester station here. Actually, I would like to have those supplier, yes, these bulk rail loaders. They're great. Let's clean up a lot of that. I don't really see the need to have all that there. There we go. That will cover it. Copy, paste. Are you okay? Yes. Are you okay? Yes. Wow. Are you okay? Absolutely. Wow. They actually work. Are aluminium at drill heads. 1. Are steel at drill heads. 1. And are chromium at drill heads 1. If I had the titanium to spare, I would absolutely use the titanium recipe, but I don't. I simply do not. So you are aluminium. I need power. I need power to these things. That would be ideal. And I also need that and that and that. So you are chromium. Chromium is here. Chromium is always different. It's in another tab entirely for PyCoal processing. And then you, being steel, are a vanilla item. And you, being aluminium, are in Pyraw ores. 3 separate tabs for 3 metals. Whoops. Come on. There you go. Can I stretch? No. Dang it. There we go. I picked up a couple dudes. There you go. Be free, my minions. And, of course, power would be lovely. Give me my beautiful building. That's not the building. That's the building. Make me my drill heads. Under which recipe? That. that is the recipe. There are many, 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 many other recipes. I do want to look at the carbide recipes, because that... God, if they didn't use the titanium. If they didn't use the titanium on those carbide recipes, I would absolutely use them. But, well, as you could see, they do. Also, what now? Chromium? Chromium? Oh. It's loading right now. Yes, you. How much per second on the... Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. That's gonna be that. You're gonna be powered there, 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 and buildings through that. And of course the output is like so. This is gonna use all of my materials, by the way. Just so we're clear on that, this will use everything if I actually want to have 4, making 8 per second. We're thinking for the future, right? I in no way, shape, or form have actually 16 steel per second. This thing can only feed 7.5 steel per second at most, which means I can't even feed 2 of these. So off we go with 2 of these. Oh, right. Yeah, I need to... Yeah, I need to feed these. There you go. Make it look nicer. Hello, aluminium. There we go. And I guess that's that. As soon as Chromium decides that it's going to join the party. Just as soon as Chromium decides it wants to be on the way, it went to Catalysts. It went to Catalysts, and now we're continuing to wait for it to fill. Great. I need more Chromium. At this phase of the game, I am able to switch over to the molten chromium recipe, which I absolutely should do. So this is the grade, what now? Grade 1? Oh. Well then. This is the grade 1 processing of chromium into chromite sand being cast from 15 per second. I am now able to do molten casting of grade 4. You know, just a little bit of a difference there. There's just a little bit of a difference there. Basically, I would go from 3 out to 16.1 out. You know, just a little bit of a difference there by increasing the level of processing. You know, just from 3 to 16. Or if I don't feel like going to grade 4, because grade 4 uses hydrocyclones, and I don't really know why I wouldn't, it would also save a feedback step with ball mills here, but if I wanted to stop at the phase below that, it's still 10.3 versus 3. Yeah, like, I'll be doing this, and I'll be doing this off screen if I remember / have the time. Like, this is, like, duh, obvious. Obvious over the 3 I have now. Now I have to note that it's 90 CO2 versus... It's 98.6 on the sand castings versus needing 107 plus needing graphite and borax. So that's one thing I have to keep in mind is I will need borax and I will need graphite and slightly more carbon dioxide going through this route. Also, a reminder that the grade 3 was fixed, by the way. It is now greater in output than the grade 1, at least theoretically. Do I need to do an update? Yes, I do. I need to refresh. Refreshed! We are refreshed. So, yes, it gives more. It gives more than the previous. Yeah. I like. So it is giving ingredient. I want to see the chromite sand. Yes, 2 into 11, which is exactly halfway between the grade 1 and the grade 4 processing. It is exactly in between grade 1 and grade 4 on its output. So, with all that being said, we've reached the end of the stream. We have magically made our way all the way through the end of the stream. Thank you so much for arriving as my bots slowly but surely fill up all of the modules in here. They are almost done. They are, like, basically done. I just have to double check on a few of these, make sure they actually have all 8 in them. But yeah, they're done. They're done. I'm going to accrue some in this provider chest before actually going over and switching over and doing the skin because, well, obviously we're going to keep expanding our base, and this isn't going to be the only place I need Ulric corrals. So with that, I can't believe that actually happened so quickly. Wow. Feedback loops. They're great. Exponential growth is awesome. It build the thing. They're all the things. They're done. Technically, the whole thing's also on my network, which could be bad, but we'll see how that happens throughout the rest of this playthrough. How that is being handled. How much performance impact that has, anyway. So with that, what did we get done today? What did we get done today? Well, clearly, I have set up drill heads now, technically. I have finished and done my Ulric food. Started off with the Ulric food into the Ulric build itself to make, of all things, skin. And did ash. Oh yeah, we started with ash. That was the very beginning of the day today, was this syngas ash build. Which I'm actually going to need to put the syngas onto my network because I'm about to use the syngas. Like, I'm going to need to put the syngas onto my network because I'm about to use it to do the mining of the zinc ore. And you need the syngas to do the ground boring of the zinc ore. Which is fine. I'll also probably double this and put in, like, excess voiding on the ash that's coming in. Just voiding excess ash. Yeah, so outside of that, that was basically it. Like, that's all we got done, because this is a huge build in here for the skin. It took a long time to do it. So outside of that, ooh, we've got drill heads now. Yay, drill heads! They exist. They're existent. When we next meet, I will, of course, be continuing to work towards the drilling fluid 2. I anticipate that I will actually see zinc ore when we next meet on Sunday, and probably get a good ways into, if not complete, the zinc ore processing setup that I intended, and off-screen I will likely improve the chromium output and expand the base, because obviously I'm running out of squares now to work with, so I need to expand my base to the right and continue to pull stuff out of the factory SMO buildings as I continue to prepare for the eventual removal of that mod from this save, because it just uses way too much performance. It uses way too much performance overall. Even with building out with the chests, it's too much on the electric network. Like the electric network alone, using that much processing due to the factory SMO buildings and how it handles power, is not worth it. It's just not worth it, no matter what the benefits are. So, working towards that. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching yet again. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat if you haven't already done so. You can support Pyandon's mods development at patreon.com/Pyandon, and myself at patreon.com/otakushowboat. Don't forget that I still have my poll going on through the beginning of September to vote on the reward playthrough for hitting 1,000 YouTube subscribers, so go ahead and go down below the video to vote on that if you haven't already. I will, of course, be back on Sunday to continue to work on getting zinc. I will, of course, see you all then.